What could the climate scientists do to regain the public trust in their work? What can they do to ensure transparency and accountability in the climate scientist community, especially as we look towards the development of the upcoming IPCC's 5th assessment report?
Let me first of all begin with the quotation from NOAA's response to my written testimony, which incidentally I wasn't given a copy of before this hearing, and I think somebody has slipped up there. But the passage that was quoted focused on one short sentence, which mentioned that for the last 7 or 8 years there has been, if anything, a certain amount of global cooling. So there has. But however, my temperature record goes back as far as the Neoproterozoic era, 750 million years ago. The graphs I showed today are for the last 150 years. So I don't think I can be fairly accused of having unreasonably cherry-picked the periods over which I was looking at the data. Now, what I think scientists therefore need to do, if they want to start commanding the respect of the public, because they are losing that respect over this issue, is to stop chattering about consensus. Science has never been done by consensus, and it isn't going to be done by consensus now. Stop using in the IPCC's documents references to documents not produced by peer-reviewed sources, but by green propaganda groups and by journalists, and confine their analysis to the peer-reviewed literature, as I did today. And also, they must make sure that instead of trying to push one agenda and shout down anyone who dares to put an alternative point of view, as I have politely sought to do today, they should treat those who disagree with them with courtesy, hear with some care what they have to say, and instead of dismissing an argument they perhaps don't understand, as one of the panelists here did when asked to comment on my testimony, they should instead engage in a rational debate via the columns of the peer-reviewed literature with the many scientists who disagree with the official line. And of course, scientists could have been paraded here today, but quite rightly, the minority group, knowing that the majority would merely want to throw brickbats at them, decided that instead somebody with a certain amount of experience in politics and a thick skin should sit and take the cowpats flung at him, which I'm more than happy to do, so as to spare the many thousands of diligent scientists who are questioning every aspect of this ludicrous scare to get on with their work. And that is what, in the end, is going to decide this matter. It is going to be diligent scientific inquiry and not the hurling of childish political insults.
Lord Moggy, do some of these scientists, or anyone I guess could answer this question, do some of these scientists, how are they funded? Do they get grants, or are there organizations that give them funding? Do you think that that has a potential to corrupt the process and what their data, and do they feel beholden to certain results because of that?
That's a very shrewd point, sir. The only reason why the notion that consensus decides science has unfortunately crept in is that science these days effectively is a monopsony. There's only one paying customer, and that's the unwilling taxpayer. And because of that, and because of the grant funding structure, and because of the resultant academic pressures to conform, it takes enormous courage for any scientist to stand out against the political line that is now being taken among the scientific institutions and to say, hang on a moment, the numbers don't add up. I've just shown you today various points at which the numbers very plainly don't add up. And they are established in the peer-reviewed literature, and they're established by measurement and not by modeling. You've heard the rather qualitative replies of the 4 scientists here. They didn't really quote numbers much. They were quoting models. But science is best done and most accurately done by measurement. And those papers that rely chiefly on measurement are finding that there isn't the problem that we are told there is.
Thank you, sir.
Congressman Cleaver.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.